All right. So we're doing two tables of Blitz. We are down $1.66. So basically the goal is to play like mindful poker. And I kind of hate that word because mindful is such like a spiritual like buzzword, but being mindful is very important in poker. Um, it's not one of these things that you can just like run simulations on or whatever. It's like everyone's different. Um, so anyway, not to keep talking about that, but here we have the best hand the vast majority of the time. So I'm just betting half pot. We don't really want any calls. And we have range advantage, but not significantly. Um, like he has like things like 4 or 5, but never have like pocket jacks or whatever. Um, so yeah, I found myself being on tilt, playing 25 and L, not playing well, not being mindful whatsoever, just kind of playing emotionally. So gonna try to play with our brains today, see how that goes. Yeah, coming back into these pools, you see just how weird people are. I don't know anything about this guy, but I'm gonna try a squeeze. And I don't know this guy. I don't have this guy's full to 3-bet tendencies, but we are gonna try. Nice. So I'm thinking about squeezing a lot more. Um, so his range is wide open. Ours is obviously narrowed, and this is like the worst board for our range. But um, yeah, I really don't know what to do on this board. We're gonna 3-bet over here. I guess I'm just hoping he has like eights or something and folds, but um, pretty strange board. I don't know if I'm inclined to try to represent anything or no, because it's pretty hard to get someone to fold like two pair here, and he could just have a king, king, queen. We get 4-bet. I guess we just fold. Yeah, it's hard to draw any real conclusions when you don't have much information about a player. So he checks back, which means I mean, he could have ace X with ace of diamonds. He could have anything. Obviously we have the third nuts though, so that's pretty good. Um, Question is, are we check calling? Are we betting? What are we doing here? So I think king X of diamonds is definitely betting the turn. Ace X of diamonds, um, maybe not betting the turn. So I'm guessing okay, I don't know why he wouldn't ever bet the turn there. That's pretty bad in my opinion. That was a strange one. Um, Twos we can fold or open, doesn't really matter. Same thing with threes over here. We're just gonna try it. Playing loose right now. For this size, of course, I don't know how profitable this is because even if we hit our set, oftentimes he just doesn't have much. This is a fairly dry board. The problem is that like people don't um people don't like to fold too much when they call the button, but we did get that one through. But in general, if you're playing stickier players, I don't think that's really the right play, which is why opening deuces is not very good. This is definitely a 3-bet. Very deep, so I'm gonna go bigger, which I would do with aces, but you gotta ask yourself, does he know that? And the answer is no. I would go 5x with aces, but sometimes people spaz out because they see your big sizing. So that's the kind of thing that you want to like you want to test in the field first before you um assume that people are going to play well. For one big blind, I definitely don't mind calling here. Do flop a flush draw and three to a straight, so there's a lot of good turns for us. Um, Let's see. So if we bet big and we get called, we could be facing something like ace 8, ace 9. Um, no, that's unlikely because obviously they're betting flop and yeah, that would be less likely, of course. We're gonna start trying to open our bad hands for two big blinds, see how it goes. In these games, people aren't really three betting, so I think we can get away with it. Can we get min three bet in position, which we're actually happy about? Like, go ahead. Um, so the question is, do we ever three bet this? I'm just gonna say no. We can just like value bet ace high here. Sometimes we're good. Sometimes we're just drawing dead, but I don't mind stabbing at it. Now we're beating, jacks, tens, nines, eights, etc. The question is, do we ever get check raised if we bet this? I'm gonna go ahead and say not at these stakes, not very often. Here, I don't think there's any point in betting. We're pretty much always ahead. Okay, losing to like pocket jacks and ace 10 now. Okay, congratulations. I wonder if those bets work in these stakes because people do them so much. I wonder if people ever get paid doing that. We'll have to try it out when we have good hands. Um, Someone who three bets at this percentage, from the big blind fairly often. We're four betting. This hand, our range is really strong, and we're pretty much just hoping to get a fold. Obviously, a king like king 10 or ace 10, something like that's always going to call, but um, obviously nice to hit the ace there. So the question is, how do we get value? Our range is like extremely strong. Um, so these are the kinds of bets that like people really can't fold to, and it makes it look. We could have queens here, right? Okay, he folds for five big blinds. I can't believe that. But that's something to note in the future. Like, people will fold for these absolutely tiny bets, so you can bluff very profitably in that spot if you did have something like Jack 10 of spades or something. Just something to remember. We could call. We For 1.5. I guess I'm just gonna call. Interesting flop. Um, I don't know if this guy has a check raising range. We want to try to get to the river. No, because we don't want to see hearts. I guess we just hope that he isn't check raising us often. Okay, so that's good. C betting pot on a pretty dry board. Interesting play styles we have here. This would be thin. I think he just is that the guy that just three bet us? I don't remember, but we're not gonna open that one. We will open a7 off. Yeah, in general, I don't mind having a very wide opening range, especially in position. So this guy has a one out of one fold to three bet. I think we can just call this, it's fine. Another monochrome board, I guess is the word they use. The check back, what could that mean? That could mean something like pocket eights with a spade. That could mean just the naked ace of spades. That could be queen 10 of hearts. Um, so if I bet, I think I'd rather just show strength. At this point, we're kind of just bluffing. But if he continues at all, we just know we're behind. But if we try to like play the check call game, of course, that's just such a bad spot. This is another one you could open it, but it's kind of a bad hand. I don't mind an open though. When he checks back, it makes us think that we are good a lot of the time, and we can get value from like queen 10 and 9 10, 7 10, 7 9. Although we do block some of those hands, but obviously just having 1/7. And we get called by better here a lot, but we also fold out hands that we're worried about. Jack's a good river card. He obviously doesn't have a jack too often. Um, I think we just check back. I'm thinking like, do we turn our hand into a bluff? Um, but it's like some weird flashing light over there. But yeah, we have enough showdown value against those hands I mentioned to just check back. King 10 suited, obvious open. This guy is definitely aggressive. The problem is that as much as this is a spot where we've been playing at each other a little bit already. Obviously, he also made it like 5.5x, which is just ridiculous sizing. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's not that ridiculous when we're so deep, but made it 5.5x and we don't have an ultra premium. Obviously, ace 5 suited is fine, but we'll see how this guy reacts to a 3 bet or not. Yeah, we'll just 3 bet it. Either calling or 3 betting is fine. But if I'm gonna 3 bet, I do want to make it on the bigger side because nines do not play that well post flop, out of position, of course. Um, Pretty standard sizing. That's pot. I don't know what this means. I'm just gonna start with a call. Um, you love to see the 3x 4 bet. Um, I don't think there's anything to do but call. So who c bets pot? What do you have here when you c bet pot? Also, not the greatest flop for sure. Um, so we're just gonna try to get called here by something. Okay, so worried about nines, tens. Um, he could just have air. We also have the ace of spades. Really good turn. So the question is, does he ever actually have anything here? And since we have the ace of spades, we're not worried about a spade, but we can check back, make it look like we have like tens or nines or ace king or something, and maybe get him to bluff. Obviously, we're losing to like sixes and full houses, but I don't think we can ever fold. He could be value betting kings, and we induced a bluff from ace king, which is what we were trying to do. So my man's got played. Maybe he would have called if we went all in pre-flop, but um, we gave him the chance to bluff by doing that. So I'm quite happy with how I played that hand. Having the ace of spades is obviously great on that turn. So that brings our profit up to 138 big blinds, which is pretty good. I wonder what that BB per 100 is. That's after we lost like 50 big blinds with oh yeah, look at that. We're running like slightly under, or we were running slightly under. I don't remember I don't remember playing a huge pot or something. Where did we get where did this Oh my, that's my adjusted. Yeah, so we are running under. That's what I thought. Um so here we're feeling pretty good against the 3 betting range. Um it's a pretty wet board and we can improve in a lot of turns. Really weird. Like this feels super bluffy. I don't know if I want to be a hero though, that's the problem. I guess I want to be, well, maybe we can get away now. Here we can beat a lot of draws like 9 10 of spades, jack 10 of spades, ace x of spades. So when he bets big, he's only repping like king queen, 5x, uh, like boats, trips. This might be a call. I'm just gonna let this one go. We could definitely be losing to queen x, and also as I generally say that this sizing is like pretty value heavy. people don't bluff the river that much. Honestly, this might be a fold, but he bet so big, it makes me suspicious. Okay, I don't. I mean, I guess he's just a sick player because that was a kind of a crazy big value bet. But I guess he's only losing to jacks and tens and weak queens. Um, I feel like we're pretty much never getting check raised on this board, and we can rep something like jack 10, no problem. Obviously, you can call, but yeah, after hands like that, you definitely want to make a note that someone is capable of making that huge value bet with second pair. Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, all I can really say is well played. Maybe he's a fish, and maybe that was just like a lucky circumstance, and he randomly like donked his way into that value. But if that was like well thought out, then well played. Definitely, um, those 10 big blind, that 10 big blind river bet definitely hurt our profit. I mean, we are worried about getting four bet, but three betting the 3.5 is extremely strong. Yeah, I don't know what that was. So we open for 3.5 big blind in the cutoff, fold to three bet. So now we know if we run into that guy again, that his big raises are not necessarily strong. Um, so against a loose passive player, we just want to bet big and get him out. Obviously, this is completely unbalanced. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're doing that with our good hands too, but we definitely don't want to call. Um, we could flop over here. This guy tends to be pretty passive. Loose passive is red. Um, Pretty amazing turn. So if we bet big, what can we get value out of? I don't know. But if we bet small, we can get value out of like even the king of clubs maybe. Obviously he's really weak in that spot. Well, I guess he's kind of polarized. He could have the nuts, but he's most likely just has nothing there. Um, yeah, this is the same guy that keeps three betting us, and we three bet him earlier. So I'm kind of waiting for a big hand because I know that once you develop that back and forth, that people are much more likely to play back at you, of course. I think this is fine to three bet. It's also fine to just call, but um, either way is fine. Here we don't mind betting big. We could have something like aces with no diamond, and we would might make this bet. Also, he looks pretty passive, which I didn't note before doing that. Okay, so things are popping off over here. So we were obviously never winning this hand unless a queen comes. Yeah, we were way behind, of course. But yeah, I don't think yeah, three betting king queen on the button is never really horrible. So how many hands? We only played like 200 something hands I think in this video, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess we can keep going. Um so this is the guy that we keep playing against. We'll call for one big blind even though it kind of sucks. Against this player type, I mean, and with this hand, I'd rather just bet once and pretty much give up. Um, I don't really plan on barreling. Um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick to that plan. Although I don't mind the cheap. the cheap river bluff. But the thing is like, what are we folding out, right? Like three, four, like something like 5, 6 with a diamond is not gonna fold. Um, he could easily have ace five with the ace of diamonds, something like that. Um, Obviously it's less likely and more likely that he just kind of has some random stuff, but like I said, and like I keep saying, when I play against people who are aggressive like that, I want to show them the nuts over and over again. Let them think they can bluff me, and then eventually we'll have a good hand and be able to shove it in their face. Here, um, we're just trying to fold out small hands like fives, sixes, sevens, eights, nines. Um, this guy has like a high fold to steal rate, so I wanted to just attack it. I think this is a check call kind of hand. I don't expect him to be like going crazy. Pretty bad turn. I guess this is just kind of a pro bet. It's very weak, but I don't expect this player type to actually attack our weak bets without anything. So I don't mind just repping the ace. Definitely an open 9-10 suited here. Again, no one's really three betting except for from the blinds. This guy tried to outplay us at 25 and L, and we called him down with ace high on 3 streets and just destroyed his soul. It's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I think I'd rather bet and build a pot. Of course, we're hoping we're not up against something like Queen Jack of clubs, Ace seven of clubs, things like that. Um, so that's an interesting turn card. Of course, we make our flush. We're happy about that. What is he calling us with is the question. He's calling with Ace eight of clubs. That's a very specific hand that he might not have. Um, Calling us with other flush draws. We've got like middle of the road flush draw, so um also he can't really he can't really call with like Jack 8 no club. So we're gonna bet really small. Try to just get called. Obviously if we get raised, we're really considering what he has. I almost like an even smaller bet. We bet 33%. I almost like, 15 or 10% even more. This guy's a nit who did not even try to value bet second pair top kicker. So we're just gonna give him the blue tag. Which, to be fair, that's most people. Most people in this player pool are very nitty, and then you have your occasional maniac, but it's mostly just nits. Here, this is a little loose, but I don't mind it. Especially with a 9, it's nice because we're blocking 8-9 specifically, but yeah, there's just a lot of, that's probably a break-even play. We got it through, but plenty of times we're gonna get called, but once again, everyone's so nitty at 10 and L that you don't really have to worry too much about getting floated and like doing all these weak bets or strong bets. I don't mind raising, I don't mind calling. I This guy has the crazy tag, um, but I've only seen him limp a few times. Okay, we have to call with Queen 7 here. Pretty much the best flop we can hope for. Here we are gonna bet big. We're gonna overbet because we always have the best hand pretty much, and sometimes people in the random event he has Jack 10 of hearts or something, people always call this for some reason. I don't know if I want to bet. We're only really worried about aces and kings, so I guess we can just check it back. We're trying to get to showdown. This isn't the worst card in the deck by any means. Um, I don't mind showing some strength and maybe getting called by like the ace king, ace of clubs or something. That's a very plausible hand in his range. And by checking back the flop, we kind of take out a lot of our bluffs. Like a lot of hands are just going to bet the flop with nothing. But by betting the turn, we could have pocket jacks. We could have queen X of spades or clubs. But so many people in three bet pots just dink, do a dinky bet on the flop that it doesn't really mean much. but when you bet the turn strong, it means a lot more. Um, I don't mind three betting something like King 8. You know what? I hope this guy plays. I really want to see him play a hand again and see if he's actually good. So I think we're good here a lot. I don't really intend to value bet it. Actually, you know what? Should we value bet it? Just try to get value from ace high. Why not? Why not? Maybe we called by ace six or something. Oh, he tiny three bet king jack. I don't remember if that was big blind or small blind. Big blind versus cutoff. Interesting play from him. Yeah, so all of our money just came from that aces versus ace king hand, which obviously you have to be running good to get aces into ace king, but we definitely squeezed the max out of him by checking back the turn there. This line just didn't make any sense anyway. Like I might even call with ace king high there. Um, don't generally call too often from the big blind, but I think it's fine. King 10 obviously is quite a good hand. Do we want a leading range here? Um, I think I think with like Jack 10, we're more likely to do it because we have more outs. When he checks back, I don't mind making a big bet on the turn. It's a little not sure, but that's fine. Pretty disconnected board. I think I actually should have bet like half because things like King 10 with a King of Hearts, they're gonna call that tiny bet. Um, I think if I'm playing competent people, I don't mind an overbet here, especially with the six to block 6-4. But here he's just forced to fold all of his ace highs, ace of heart, king of heart kind of hands. So you can see our stats are pretty darn aggressive here, but if you don't overstep your boundaries and you push the boundaries, but you don't overstep them, you can get away with being very aggressive at this stake and be very profitable. So pink is fish tag, which doesn't really tell us much about anything regarding his playstyle, but just probably just a generically passive fish who's probably overcalling and playing bad. Mm, so here we don't really expect to get folds out of something like Jack 10 with a Jack of clubs. But we're just trying to fold out things like eights with the eight of clubs or nines or tens. Um, not really intending on barreling this one, especially like Fish's calling range, does tend to be um ace X. We're just gonna let it go, of course. Don't really have anything. So against this guy, okay, I don't mind an overbet, but the thing is people just don't fold the overbets is it's the weirdest thing. We're gonna try. Um we can, we have we also so we block hearts so we're not getting jammed on by Jack 10 of hearts or something. We have all of this. That's what I mean. People snap call these overbets and it's so bad, but they always do it. And I can't overbet again because people just like are obsessed with calling once you start doing these overbets. So I'm just gonna say, even though you made a really bad snap turn call, I'm just giving up. But you just the ace is always good. So, that you can derive what you want out of that, but what I derive from that is you should always overbet your really strong hands on draw boards because people cannot fold. It's so frustrating because they play so bad, but like he snap calls, doesn't even think about it. Um, Here we're gonna bet big. We're just trying to fold out like ace king, ace of spades. Like those are the hands that will fold for that size, I think. But um, yeah, that's why we're betting. We're just generically betting our strong range there. So frustrating when people just snap call these horrible. But I guess what we can do is like in those spots we can like triple the pot river, but it's just like it's so unbelievable because of the way that this game plays. No one believes you. Like it's the damnedest thing. Like people are so bad. Um, so this is like speaking of overbetting, I'm think this is if this wasn't a six, if this was like a four, then I would definitely start overbetting. Um, although this guy's kind of nitty. Um, there aren't too many like turns that we're in love with seeing, so I don't mind really juicing it up on this one. That's just like not a good turn. We're losing to queen 10, hearts now. Um, but I don't mind. Okay, so is this a spot where over betting makes sense? Um, we can rep a flush for sure, and something like ace 10, ace of hearts might still call. You love to see this run out, man. It's a very beautiful run out. Sometimes we're still winning. I don't think we turn our hand into a bluff though. Okay, he just turned the nuts. But I guess that's the way she goes. Picking up aces. So with the check call, I don't know. I'm not I'm not really inclined to try to bluff a fish. There's just like better ways to get value. Um, so lost a few big ones there, lost half our profit. Maybe we'll get our back. No. Um, but I don't necessarily regret that overbet with 7-10 because like I said, ace 10, ace of hearts, they're still gonna call and they're not gonna check raise. Um, so that river heart saved us. I don't think there's any point in trying to three bet this guy. Seems to have a low fold to three bet. He's gonna be c betting this board like 100% of the time. We could check raise, but if he does have a king, he's not folding anyway. So I'm just going to call. Obviously a great turn, but we could still be behind. Interesting river. I don't know what rivers. So he could have something like queen jack that might decide to bluff, ace jack that might decide to bluff. Okay, queen 10. So that was one of the few hands we could get value from, but um I think there's just more hands that we should be checking to induce with or against. I wonder how our win rate's looking now that we lost half of that. So it's probably still over 20. Yeah. Believe it or not, this is really common for me at this stake. My win rate is absolutely disgusting at this game. Not poker in general, but 10 and L. It's literally like over 20 over for the last like 10,000 hands. Um, here we're just going to I guess we're just gonna bet big and hope that he doesn't have something like Jack 10. 9-10 isn't really in his range. Um, But man, is it hard to get people off of things like King 10 here? Pretty much impossible. In general, I'm just gonna say to you guys, like, don't try to bluff these fish. Um, such a bad. I don't know if it's bad. I keep saying things are bad, but I don't actually know. I don't know what these guys' tendencies are, or what they have, or what they're representing, or whatever. But they just bet so big in these weird spots that it doesn't seem like it could ever be good, unless he just has a 9 there. Feels bad, dude. I hate to see half of our stat gone. Definitely open up this one if we can. This guy definitely has a tendency to 3-bet us, but that's fine. If he wants to 3-bet us this hand, that's fine. So this is also a 3-bet hand. I think we just do a standard 1/3 bet on the river or on the flop here. Certainly we get check raised sometimes, but it's not like we have a hand that wants to see turns. I think it's better to just use this as kind of a, I mean, it's not a bluff if we're ahead, but just use it as a standard continuation bet there. Very good flop versus the fish. The question is, how do we get value? Fish do call if you just bet. All right, we're gonna try something weird. We're just gonna lead pot. If he has like eights or something, there's no chance he folds. He might even raise. Yeah. This is why I tell you guys, like, don't be obsessed with like what's quote unquote right. Um, because what's right is what works. Um, I don't know if checking is right. I didn't really think it through. Um, trying to get called by a king here. Yeah, he's probably betting all of his kings, huh? So I guess I should have put him on something like eights. Like I think I might have said that initially. Pretty safe board to just barrel on. Don't expect to get called very often. Like, what can he even call us with? Um, don't mind raising a6. Again, in these games where no one's 3-betting, except min 3-betting, I'm tempted to just blast this. I don't mind blasting this. It's a little loose, of course, but the min 3-bet range is like pretty eh. Okay, well, fuck me, right? Min 3-bet. Oh, this is the guy that min 3-bet King Jack against us. I don't know if there's much he can call with, but people, like I said, people like to call big bets because they look bluffy. So I don't mind doing the big bets when we got it. All right. We get 3-bet by a guy we don't know. Um, I'm just gonna try to punish him with a big 4-bet. The reason I went big is because we're so deep. Against a fish, I would, oh. Yeah, against fish, I like to steal their blinds, but he's also so short. Sometimes they just shove. Check. Okay. Just making sure my auto is still working. Be very sad if it stopped working. Check. Okay. Sorry. Sorry for being a spaz. Um, so we only have a gutter to a 7. It's pretty hard for him to have this board. If he doesn't have like ace 8, what is he doing here? Pocket 7s are calling. Obviously a great turn. I don't mind betting huge and trying to get him off of like ace 8. So we obviously we're bluffing. I don't know what we got him off of, but I don't mind it. We can reps, 2 pair that doesn't want to see a river. No problem. I think it's definitely a 3 bet. Problem is though, is that you do get 4 bet in this position a lot, but takes takes some cojones to just 4 bet with air. All right, back up over a buy-in. I think I'm going to. Oh, guys, check out this new feature on ACR. You can click this, and it'll do both of them for you. You can click. You can sit out on both, so that's cool. But yeah, I'm gonna sit out and call it a video. Came up a buy-in, played pretty well. I don't think we made any big mistakes. Um, I we kind of ran bad in that 10-7 hand when we overbet, and we also didn't hit our flush in the 9-10 of hearts hand. So we definitely, it's not like we ran super hot or anything, but we were fortunate enough to get aces into ace king, so that's good. Um, so what's with these open sizes? If I was in the cutoff and not the button, I would 3 bet it, but it just looks a little suspicious in my opinion. You just get 4 bet more often when you're 3 betting on the button there. Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that, but in this other OBS set, OBS scene, which is just another like so that's a different scene, is showing me full screen. But anyway, I'll just go like this. I am. So that's gonna wrap up the video, of course. Smash the like button for 54 hours of run good. Oh my God. No, you guys like smashed the like button a lot in this last video, so I really appreciate that. What do you guys think of the beard? It's a little bigger than last time, a week longer. But yeah, this is like one of the longest videos I've done in a long time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. The last thing I'll say, I did a review for Black Rain 79's Elite Poker University. Um, what is there to say? I don't just haphazardly recommend courses. I This is the only one I've like gone through, and I felt like this is. I think it's really good for people of the skill level who might be watching my videos. Um, I know that it would have helped me in the past. And he preaches a lot of the things that I think about. So if you check out the review, you'll see my full detailed review, of course. But I am a big fan of Black Rain. I bought one of his books, a few years ago, and it helped me out. So if you want to improve at poker, you can buy his course. You can check out the link to buy his course below. You can also just check out the review if you just want to get a better idea of what's in it and why I recommend it. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know why I'm saluting. I'm not in the military, but I will see you guys later and have a great day.